It looks like Satou Sabally might be heading to Indiana sooner than we thought. But before we dive into that, let's rewind and take it back to Miami for a second. Satou Sabally just shocked the entire basketball world during an unexpected media appearance. She made it clear she is not staying with the Dallas Wings. This story is still developing, and we're waiting for official footage of her announcement. But for now, reporters all over the WNBA media space are confirming that Satou is turning down Dallas' offer to be cored by the team. She also stated that she's played her last game with the Wings and is looking forward to entering free agency. Now, let's break it all down. There are currently two potential destinations for her. I've been following this story closely, and just a moment ago, I shared a video discussing how the New York situation might not work out. Why? Because of the salary cap and the financial hurdles the team faces in signing her. But with Dallas no longer coring her, this opens up a huge opportunity for other teams. Any team can now sign her without losing anything from their roster. They just need to offer her the right deal. Satou is officially a free agent. Now, Dallas still holds the right to core her, even though she's turned it down. But as of right now, it's clear Satou Sabally seems ready to move on from Dallas, and fans are talking about it everywhere. Here's exactly what she said that's making headlines across social media. Satou Sabally has announced that she's moving on from the Dallas Wings, saying she has played her last game with them. She told reporters, "It's time for a new chapter in my career." Satou Sabally has already communicated her decision to Dallas. While Dallas hasn't officially commented yet, it's clear they know she's likely on her way out. For weeks, many people speculated that Satou would be cored by the Dallas Wings. But now with her confirming that she's leaving, the big question is, what does this mean for the core decision? Will Dallas still pursue it, or will they respect her wishes? As of now, we don't have an answer, and this situation is still unfolding. Satou isn't the only player making waves about potentially leaving her team. There are other big names in the WNBA who are expressing their desire to find new homes, signaling that free agency is about to get interesting. Now, let's take a look at what fans are saying. One comment on social media said, "Indiana, chalk it up." Another fan added, "Shocked, but welcome to the Fever." Many are convinced Satou is heading to the Indiana Fever, and it's hard to argue with that. I don't see her joining New York, no matter how much people want it. I'm convinced she'd end up in Indiana. Some fans pointed out that while Curt Miller, the head coach of the Dallas Wings, had spoken about needing players who could complement Satou's skills, it's clear now they weren't on the same page. It looks like the relationship between Satou and Dallas may not have been as solid as it seemed. Fans are already predicting that wherever she goes, that team will be lucky. But there's something we can't ignore. Satou Sabally has had some injury concerns. While I don't think that will be a huge issue if she moves to Indiana, it's definitely something to think about. The good news for Indiana is that she may not have to carry as much of the load there, which could help keep her healthy. As of now, it's clear to many that she end up in Indiana. Some fans mention Chicago as a possibility, but I don't think that's likely. For me, it's either the Fever or the Liberty. Those are the only two real options. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't believe New York has the salary cap space to sign her. They're already tight on the cap, and Satou is a big name that will demand a hefty contract. This is a huge story, and it's getting attention everywhere, especially on social media. It's trending all over Twitter, and WNBA fans are buzzing about it. Now onto something else. Satou had to say her thoughts on Caitlin Clark. She mentioned that right now, the WNBA narrative is all about Caitlin, and while that's great for the league, it shouldn't overshadow other players. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, and people are going to pay attention to her, for better or worse. But Satou also pointed out that greatness in the WNBA isn't just about one player. There's a lot more to the league than just Caitlin Clark, and the WNBA is all about measuring different types of greatness against each other. Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA right now, and that's great for the league. She's selling out arenas, and why would anyone be upset about that? Just recently, we had a sold-out home opener. It wasn't even a serious game, it was just a practice game but we still benefited from it. The excitement in the crowd, the new people coming into the market, it's all because of her. Caitlin Clark is creating her own economy, and that's amazing to see. She's being paid what she's worth, and it's time for more women in the league to be paid what they deserve. Caitlin is a perfect example of how it should be done. Satou Sabally recently commented on this, agreeing that Caitlin Clark should be paid her worth. And she's absolutely right. Caitlin has opened doors for so many women in the WNBA. Satou has been one of the players speaking highly of Caitlin since she entered the league. She's always been supportive, never a hater, and it's great to see that kind of positivity. Now, another player making headlines is Jewel Lloyd. She has confirmed that she's leaving the Seattle Storm, but she hasn't spoken much about her future in free agency. She says she's currently focused on her rivalry with other teams, so she's keeping things quiet for now. However, we know there was a major investigation that took place after the season ended, and that's something to keep an eye on. As for Satou Sabally, it's clear that she's confirmed her decision to become a free agent and opt out of staying with the Dallas Wings. She's made it known that she's played her last game there. And I wouldn't be surprised if news breaks later this month about her being in talks with the Indiana Fever. In fact, earlier today I mentioned how if she does sign with the Fever, that would instantly make them a top contender for the championship. Satou Sabally is that big of a game changer for any team she joins. If she teams up with Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and the rest of the pieces on the Indiana Fever. But here's the deal, if any of these key players get hurt, it could all fall apart. We all know Caitlin Clark is a GOAT, and with a team like that, the Fever could make some serious noise in the league. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. And make sure you keep those notifications on because I'll be back with another update that you won't want to miss.